I believe he was fully competent to serve.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
Hell no! Look at his face. Look at John's face. Look, he like, did this heifer really just say that? Did she really just say Biden was still competent to serve? Did this heifer really just say that? Somebody please, one of y'all, we need to get law enforcement involved. We need to, I'm telling y'all, Clear and the Dark is on her breath. This heifer's drunk again. She need to breathe in a walkie-talkie. Look at his face. He like, look.
That surprises me, actually.
No, I do. But there's a distinction to be made between running for president and being president.
What's the distinction?
Well, being a candidate for president of the United States is about being in a marathon at a sprinter's pace, having tomatoes thrown at you every step you take.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, it's more than a notion.
Get involved in public service, ladies and gentlemen.
And to be the seated president, the sitting president, while doing that, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. I think it's a hard case to make for people that he didn't have the stamina to run, but he had the stamina to govern. Because I think most people view the presidency as a marathon run at a sprint with tomatoes being thrown at you in terms of.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to kill we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Oh, hell. You just can't make this up. Why does this heifer keep coming out? I get it, the little book and then the book tour, you know. But man, just when you think they'll come out and tell the truth, just when you think they'll put the bottle down, they pick the bottle right back up. Just when you think you've had enough of the, you know, it just gets worse and worse and worse for Democrats, man. You know, and I say, keep sending this heifer out there. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, keep letting her come out on the little podcast, on the TV shows, on the little media, on the fake news media. Keep letting this heifer get all the spotlight. Yeah, because what needs to be exposed is being exposed, and it's already been exposed. You know, and the American people see this lady for what she is. You know. So none of this stuff surprises me. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I know y'all probably seen it already. It's going viral right now, you know. And Brother Stewart is once again speechless, surprised. Oh, you know. But when y'all bring this heifer on, what do y'all expect? You know? The heifer, look, she came on looking thrown off. Thrown off as hell. Clear in the dark. Breathing this walkie-talkie, ma'am. This heifer's drunk. Just when you think they will just finally just suck it up and tell the truth. But this heifer say she still believes Biden was fully competent to serve. Oh, hell. Y'all know Rick gonna come on here and be real with y'all and just call it out for what it is, man. You know? I'm gonna call it out for what it is. We see the people's response. Because his response is everybody else's response. And while people say, I'm just never going to vote Democrat again. The biggest scandal in American history. You know? And then she done dropped a book. You know? And we know how that played out for her. When the things that she put in the book. 107 days. You just can't make this up, man. You just can't. But what's going on, family? I hope y'all having an amazing weekend. An amazing start to a new month, man. I hope everybody that's tuned in right now that you are blessed, well, and healthy. It's one love to the human race, man. You know, we don't care what side you're on. You know, if you're liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican, if you believe in the boogeyman, if you believe in this or that, if you have a different opinion, different views, you know, so be it. I got love for you, and I'm wishing the best in all you guys' life, man. Simple. Love or hate me, you know. But this is how I choose, you know, to come on here, and that's how I'm gonna come on here, man. You know, and I'm gonna continue to have fun, spread love, crack jokes, and call it out for what it is. We don't sugarcoat on this channel. You know, there might be some takes on this show that you might not agree with and might not like from me every now and then, and hey, so be it. You know, but this is an absolute disgrace, and I'm sick of seeing this woman coming out. But like I said, I think this is good that she's getting all this spotlight right now. You know. Yeah, I think it's, what do y'all think? I know you're like, Rick, all hell, but I'm just saying, you know, because you just can't make this up. And these clips are breaking the internet, you know, just like with the KJP, the health of the press secretary getting all the spotlight right now. And she's getting a lot of backlash because they keep asking her the same thing about Biden, you know. But she's black and queer, so... You know, now she's left the party. She's independent. And she now says the Democrat Party is done. We're not fighting hard enough. You know, we weren't fighting Trump hard enough. The Democrat Party has lost it. I tell you, man, after she done came out and lied every single day to the American people, you know, and still up there lying. I just didn't see the decline. I just didn't see the decline. I tell you, man. And guess what this heifer come up and say? Same thing. Look.
I believe he was fully competent to serve.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
Do you really? you can. That's the end of the clip. We can end the clip right there. Do you really, ma'am? Do you really? Most of America. You know, 95% of America don't believe you, ma'am.
That surprises me, actually.
No.
That surprises me, actually. Yeah, this is where you lose most people. This right here is where you lose most people, man. And I hate that we have to keep coming back on this, you know, and we see the whole thing going on right now, the whole auto pen and everything, the whole, you know, the whole investigation. And people ought to be arrested, man. People ought to be held accountable, for real. They say, Rick, nobody's going to be held accountable. You know, we get up on Fox News and places and do a lot of good talking, but there ought to be people walked out in handcuffs, honestly. You know, they know who the hell was running the country. You know, didn't know who signed off on this or that. Plug the goddamn machine up into the wall. You know, it's wide open. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. She's passed out drunk in the other room in there. She's supposed to be at the border. It's okay. She passed out drunk. It's all right.
I do.
And then they ask her about it. She get to laughing. Ma'am, there's nothing funny.
But there's a distinction to be made between running for president and being president.
You know, look at the face. Look at under them eyes. That's that. The one side guy, I see tequila, and I see a little bit of cognac. I think she drinking Hennessy on this side. Look at that Hennessy. That's a Hennessy eye right there. Or is that Douce? It's one of them. It's one of them. It's one. That half was drunk. I'm telling you. Brother Stewart laughs at Kamala to her face. Look, check this out.
The Republicans are selling a product they don't believe in.
Right.
But Democrats aren't. So how does that square?
We need to do better.
Oh.
I mean, this is...
I guess we're done.
We do.
We need to do better. The Democrat Party is done. It is shot. You know, people are posting AI videos of her drinking. Everybody think this heifer's drunk, man. Every time they see her, they think she's drunk. You know, and we just had this take not long ago when Kamala Harris put in her book about Pete Buttigieg being as a VP, but she didn't. She snubbed him because he was gay. So.
The reason we've lost trust is because people don't believe that we actually believe the shit we're selling them. That we're telling them what they want to hear.
To my point in the book, when she says, I didn't go with Pete Buttigieg because he's gay and that'd be too far. And you're like, oh my God, it's actually reverse affirmative action.
Well,
it's like, what?
Yeah, but I think the point here is that you have to be an authentic and credible messenger, and it's not authenticity. Yes, that's the new buzzword, but now you got people. It's the same thing with people want to show.
Hey man, what a disgrace! What an absolute. People are saying she believed Biden was fully competent. Yeah, I do. That surprises me actually. People are just reposting the clip because they just can't believe it. It's a disgrace, man. It really is. And then we got this right here. I'm telling y'all, just let her keep coming out. Have all the interviews. Have the full spotlight. Because what needs to be exposed is going to be exposed in broad daylight, man.
And then, of course, being vice president.
Kamala, I've met with over 150 world leaders and negotiated very important deals for the American people. And it says, I'll give anyone $1,000 if you can name one deal Kamala negotiated in her entire time as vice president. This got over millions of likes or hits, thousands of likes and reshares.
And then, of course, being vice president and doing the work of vice president of the United States, I met with over 150 world leaders, presidents, prime ministers, chancellors, and kings. I've negotiated very important deals and issues on behalf of the American people. And then, of course...
Oh, hell. Oh, man. What is this? Dear former President Barack Obama, we must support black women. Beat it. Hell. Biden used tax dollars to build a wall around his Delaware beach house. You said nothing, Kamala. Spare me the fake outrage over President Trump spending zero tax dollars on the White House ballroom that will be used by the people for generations to come.
Are you fucking kidding me? This guy wants to create a ballroom for his rich friends? While
and they think they're real tough and they can prove a point and get people on their side when they drop the F-bomb. I just don't understand, man. This is what kills me, Just like when we seen Chuck Schumer up there dropping the F-bomb, on his government shutdown. Clown, man. These people are clowns, man. The hell with these politicians, man. And they just get up and put up a good little show, a good little theater. It's a disgrace.
Completely turning a blind eye to the fact that babies are going to starve when the SNAP benefits end in just hours from now? Come on. So what? I'm not going to be distracted by, does the guy have a big fucking hammer? What about those babies?
Right.
And this is the last one that cares. And we just seen what President Trump just posted on Snap. But Democrats want you to really, I'm telling you, they come out and do this right here. It's a disgrace, man. And then they say they pull it back to the ballroom. Privately funded. It's a disgrace, man. You just can't make this up. But failed presidential candidate Kamala says the United States should lower the voting age to 16 because of climate anxiety. Hell.
I think we should reduce voting age to 16. I'll tell you why.
What the hell y'all think it is? Oh hell! I think I'm gonna end it off with this right here. I can't take too much of this lady, man. I feel like I'm losing brain cells or something's gonna be wrong with me. I can't, man.
So, Gen Z, they're age about 13 through 27. They've only known the climate crisis. They missed substantial parts of their education because of the pandemic. If they're in high school or college, especially in college, it is very likely that whatever they've chosen as their major for study may not result in an affordable wage. They've coined the term climate anxiety to describe fear of not only being able to buy a home, but that fear will be wiped out by extreme weather, but fear of having children. It is expected that Gen Z will have 10 to 12 jobs in their lifetime. They are a larger number than boomers. There's a specific generation of people who are going to impact our nation and the world. And I think we must invest in them, but I think that they are rightly impatient with a lot of what is the tradition of leadership right now. And if they were able to vote, because they know everything that's happening right now is going to impact them more than anybody older than them, for the most part, in terms of how these systems work. If they're voting right now, at 16 and up, they're going to be talking about the importance of climate. They're going to be talking about the importance of figuring out how AI is going to affect the future of the workforce. They're going to be focused on what are we really doing about affordable housing. And basically in politics, here's the hard truth about this. There are two centers of power that tend to influence how politicians think. Groups that vote the most and people who write the most checks. And I'm going to go every day with the people, and thinking about how do we strengthen people actually going to the polls.
What y'all think of that? I tell you, you just can't make it up, man. You just can't make it.
Frailties. Wasn't Joe Biden then, to put it on him, wasn't his refusal to recognize his own frailties the reason that you faced a nearly impossible task?
I ran against Donald Trump for president, and Donald Trump ran on a platform that was in large part, I believe, misrepresenting his intentions to the American people. I do believe that there are a fair number of people that voted for Donald Trump who believed him when he told them that his first priority on day one is going to be to bring down prices. And he didn't. And you combine that misrepresentation of intention with also what was at play in terms of massive amounts of mis and disinformation.
They repeat the same thing over and over. Do they not know how the economy works? They think things happen overnight. I'm sick of it, man.
Now, forgive me.
And a truncated calendar in terms of the clock.
I want to interrupt you because that is a world-class pivot, but it is not the question that I asked you, which is about...
Look, check her ass. Look, shout out to this lady here. Shout out to that check, man. I'm glad she interrupted and check Kamala right there. This is what we need, man. Because people sick of it. And how they would just revert back to Trump this, Trump lied, Trump, to the American people, Trump, billionaire buddies. People sick of it, man. God, dog.
About Joe Biden's failure to recognize his own frailties and what that did to you. The question is about Joe Biden. Are you still reluctant to criticize the former president?
In what regard, please?
Well, just in terms of that question. So you went on...
What exactly would you like to ask? Be more specific, if you don't mind.
Look, now she pissed off because she got checked. Look, you can't make this up, man.
Was it Joe Biden's decision, his failure to recognize his own frailties in that position that put you in the position that made it almost impossible to win that race?
He was not frail as president of the United States.
But he had frailties. We all saw the debate.
I do believe that Joe Biden had the capacity to be president of the United States, and I have never doubted that he had the capacity to be president of the United States. If you want to talk about whether he had the ability to endure what a race for president of the United States would require in that political environment in 2024, as I've said in the book, I had concerns.
I'm just wondering, is there a reason why you won't go to that prolonged frailty question? We saw the debate, we saw the difficulty he had marshalling his thoughts.
I have answered that question. I do not believe
I think it's just hard watching the debate to see how there could not be a problem long term with someone who can't marshal their thoughts. I'm not saying his acuity wasn't present.
I talked about that in the book. And I also mentioned the context in which that debate occurred. And you'll probably remember how I talked about that in terms of what his travel schedule had been, that what he had been enduring in terms of the timing of that debate. I talk about it extensively in the book. I'm not shying away from that. That's why I wrote it in the book, because I do know it's a question people have.
That book exposed a lot to the public, huh? I'm done, man. I can't take enough of this. What y'all think? Weigh in with your thoughts. You just can't make it up. Keep putting that health out. It gets worse and worse and worse for Democrats. We just keep winning, you know. I love y'all. God bless you all and your family. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace and love, you guys. This woman is an absolute disgrace.